The Global Contrarian Fund is the latest absolute return fund that we've set up to basically time certain inflection points in market stocks and sectors around the world. We've been around for 17 years. We started managing money in 2005, and this is the first fund of its type that we've launched, which is going to be using leverage essentially there to identify and capitalise on some of the best ideas that we have from around the world. The Absolute Return Fund, the Fat Profits Global Contrarian Fund, is going to utilise leverage. It's not a long-only portfolio. It has the ability to not just short stocks, but also trade in commodities, currencies and indices globally. We're going to be focused on communicating with our shareholders every day. By that I mean there's a daily note that goes out to our subscriber base. The investors in the LIC will be getting access to that. And in that note I will be discussing some of the global thematics that we're operating and trading in from around the world. Our objective is simply to achieve above average rate of return. And we are aiming to achieve this above average rate of return regardless of what the broader market does. So this fund is not going to be benchmark aware. So regardless of what the broader market does, we're going to be striving, we're going to be aiming above average positive returns over the longer term. We entered the funds management business in 2005. Today we have over 100 million under management in terms of client portfolios between the United Kingdom, New Zealand and Australia. And all of that information is contained in the prospectus. 60% of the capital will be contained within the high conviction, long only equity portfolio. So around 60% of capital will be invested there. The high conviction portfolio is going to have 15 of our very best high conviction thematical ideas. And that is basically going to be the core of the fund. We have the ability to use leverage within that portfolio of up to 50%. 20% of the capital will be contained within the trading book. The trading book will have a shorter term time horizon and obviously a lot more sharper risk management focus. The ambit is slightly wider in the trading book. We have the ability to trade currencies, commodities and indices. We have also the ability to short stocks and short markets. So there's a lot more flexibility, but there'll be less capital. And then we have 10 to 20% of the fund will be held in cash at any one time. And the reasoning behind that is we want to make sure there's plenty of liquidity in the fund should an opportunity arise, such as an outlier event in the markets. I'm going to give you the answer that every LIC manager will give you, and that is we're going to simply strive for outperformance, achieve above average returns, so that hopefully the shareholders are comfortable with where the fund is at and there'll be demand for the stock. What we're also going to be doing to ensure that there's plenty of demand on market for the fund is we're going to communicate. And we will depart from the norm, which is typically to publish a one-page release each month and provide a couple of paragraphs about what the fund's been up to. We're going to be aiming to communicate with our shareholder base every day. We really want our shareholders engaged with in terms of what we're doing. And so it's going to be communication. And secondly, I'll be discussing what the fund is up to in my daily note, which goes out to 20,000 of our subscriber base. Listed investment companies have a track record of coming on and trading on the market at a discount. We think that the discount in the Fat Profits Contrarian Fund is going to be somewhat smaller than typical, simply because we're not going to be taking a 2.5% stamping fee on the money that we've raised from our client base and from our subscriber base. Every shareholder will be entitled to a loyalty option, and those options will be on a one-for-one basis for every share that's subscribed for in the IPO that is still held after 12 months. And that will give the shareholder the right, but not the obligation, to buy one additional share in the fund at $1.10. We've had an outstanding response from our subscriber base and our investor base. And we've reached the point where we're over the minimum, significantly over the minimum, so the fund is now live, and the only question now is how much we actually raise at the end of the day. But it's very exciting, and I'd just encourage everyone to get their applications in soon, as the offer will be closing on the 10th of March, or if we reach our cap of 66 million, so whichever comes sooner.